Greetings, welcome back to my channel. My name is JD from Studio 2105. You are watching a brand new episode of Weekly Update Wednesdays. In this week's video, I'm going to be touching on some of the internet's most persistent myths and misconceptions on the subject of mastering. If you're new to this channel, a warm welcome to you. I want to give a big shout out and a thank you to all the patrons who help to support the channel financially. Do sign up for the email list for a bunch of free stuff. And if you want to become a patron, head on down to the website www.patreon.com/studio2105 for more info on how to become a patron. If you're not yet a subscriber, please do head on down and click on the subscribe button, and don't forget to click on the notification bell as well so that you'll be informed every time I put out a brand new video. Speaking of which, this weekend I'm putting out a brand new episode of my Mix Chat podcast, and this is a very special one because this features my conversation with Emmett of Butterfingers. So fans of Emmett, right? Fans of the band Butterfingers, and also his current solo project Emmett I, right? You do not want to miss out on this, okay? It's come out this Friday, 9 p.m. So become a subscriber, right? Click on the notification bell so that you'll be informed when the video comes out. So enough jibber jabber, let's head on down to this week's featured questions. Do you make different masters for different mediums and streaming platforms? What LUFS levels should I aim for? How much gain reduction should I be getting? Oh boy, this is a topic and a question which has got a lot of things to unpack. I've covered this in several of my previous YouTube videos, but this question just keeps popping up from time to time, and there's still quite a bit of confusion going around lately, right? Especially regarding loudness normalization and Spotify, YouTube's distribution loudness of -14 LUFS. Now, here are several key points. The idea that you have to create different masters for different platforms or different mediums, really it's something of an internet myth that, stems from the misunderstanding of what loudness normalization is and what it does. Much of the confusion stems from the early days of streaming, right? With various platforms adopting different distribution levels and different methods of measuring those levels as well. Now, to add to the whole mess, Apple used to have something that was called Mastered for iTunes, the MFIT specifications, but even that has gone away. The direction that most of these streaming platforms are headed is towards a universally streamlined distribution loudness levels. We're not there yet. Apple, Tidal, Pandora, I think still has a slightly lower level, about -16 LUFS, whereas YouTube and Spotify are at -14 LUFS, okay? But a better understanding of all these things, right? Better understanding how streaming platforms work, how the playback will actually sound on it. Now, if you want to find out more, why do some commercial masters sound loud? What's LUFS? What is all these things such as true peak levels and all these kind of specifications? Please check out these couple of videos which I have on my channel to find out more. Now, here's the important thing. -14 LUFS is not a target. It is a level that's been determined by streaming platforms, for example, YouTube and Spotify, in order to have their content on their platform playback at a consistent and optimum level, right? This is essentially what loudness normalization is all about. It's ensuring that the listener or the viewer is not going to be blasted by wildly differing levels, right? Whenever they listen to one song to another or they watch one video to another. Aiming for -14 LUFS is bad advice. It's only serving, right, to confuse the creators when they don't get the desired results that they want because they're aiming for -14 LUFS. They find that, my content, my songs, my music is still softer than everything out there, especially things that are being put out by major labels and big artists. The most extreme situation that I've ever heard someone say is that, oh, this minus 14, the whole thing is a scam by major labels put out there to make sure that their products going to sound louder than what's being put out by independent. Okay, that is actually the most ridiculous story that I've heard lah. But here it is: how loudness is perceived is not only determined by how it measures on the meter, but also in its frequency content, its transient content, how much of transients does it have, and obviously on the type of program material. Now, an easy test would be to take a mix of an aggressive rock song and compare it with either an acoustic song, maybe just a vocal and a piano, or vocal and acoustic guitar, or compare it with something which is spoken word material, okay? Now, if you measure all these different mixes to the same level, let's just take minus 10 LUFS, right, for hypothetical reasons. The acoustic sound, right, acoustic song is going to sound louder than a rock song when you play them back. Meanwhile, that spoken word content is going to sound way too loud in comparison. Now, remember, all these three examples are mastered to measure exactly the same. I'm going to point anyone who's interested to learn this in greater detail to the Audio Engineering Society's technical document, right? The AES technical document TD1008. I'll leave the link down in the description below. Every professional mastering engineer that I've worked with, or I've watched a video interview of, or I've read an article about, has given a similar reply to this, right? And that is, only one version will suffice, okay? Because a good mix and master will translate well across different playback systems, different mediums, and different platforms. It is simply impractical to be making different masters for different platforms and for different mediums, okay? For example, you want to make one for CD, you want to make another master for Spotify, one for Apple Music, another one for vinyl, then another one for club playback, in a club PA system. Now, it's simply impractical, okay? The chances of, people mixing up, right, artists when they get back all these different versions, making mistakes, uploading the wrong versions to the wrong platform, there's so much more problems that it can cause. Even when it comes to vinyl, what I've learned is that it's actually the cutting engineer at the factory or the vinyl pressing plant that will be the one that will make the necessary adjustments, right? To things such as the levels, such as the low frequency content, because it's so dependent on specific factors such as the type of cutting machine that they use, that only the right qualified and proper cutting engineer will know what to do. So why then does this misinformation and this myth continue to persist? Now, my theory is kind of simple, okay, right? It's simply because of the sheer amount of noise, right, that's out there on the internet. All that noise just drowns out the voices of the very few experts, the real mastering engineers out there, who don't necessarily spend, right, their time online, right, posting on forums and groups. Mastering is, after all, a specialized skill, and a bona fide mastering engineer is considered a rare breed, right? You enter a room, if you have 100 audio engineers out there, you find fewer than 10, right, who are actual mastering engineers. Now, ultimately, the best advice that I've been given on this subject is this: remember, mastering is all about optimizing, not maximizing loudness. In other words, you want to master it to sound good, not to sound loud. I'm going to leave you with this post, right, from an award-winning producer, mixer, and engineer, Eric Serafin, also known as MixStream. And he says here, nobody skips a song because it's quieter. They skip a song because they don't like it. If it's too quiet, they turn it up. The next song that's louder, they turn that down. When someone turns up your song, that's a positive reaction to it. When they turn down your song, that would be a negative reaction to it. Everybody just wants something to blame for their lack of success. Not loud enough, not trendy enough, not mixed well enough, not produced well enough, not printed hot enough. There are 60,000 records put on streaming sites every day. Your song has to first and foremost be heard. And then after it's heard, it requires an exceptionally strong reaction so that it's shared, especially on playlists or artist radio stations or any other, cross-platform equivalent. He proceeds to explain, the role that record labels play, and I quote, "One of the reasons that record labels have been so successful for so long is because they understand that the first step to a successful record is getting heard. Sure, the song has to be great, but really a great song is a subjective evaluation, and a great song has the same chance of success as an atrocious song if nobody hears them. But getting a song heard, that's what the labels are really good at. It's because they are willing to front a lot of money to make sure that their artist's catchy song gets heard. Once it gets heard, then it has a chance of getting a reaction, and that's what makes a hit. So there you have it, right? I do apologize if this sounds a little bit ranty. It's because of the amount of confusion and the amount of misinformation that keeps circulating around the internet that I see. Hopefully, this helps to clear up, some of the topics some of the questions that you may have regarding, the topics of mastering. And again, I have these several other videos which I've done, and there are countless other articles that have been published online and other videos as well that you can check out on this subject. Do yourself a favor and do a search online, okay? Don't take my word for it. Go and check out, other videos or other websites, especially from credible, certifiable, actual professionals who actually do this for a living. There you have it. Hopefully you found this video useful and informative. If you did, please do leave a like. Do share this with your friends as well. And if you're not yet a subscriber, remember, head on down, click on the subscribe button, okay? Do consider becoming a patron. Head on down once again, www.patreon.com/studio2105. Lots of special perks and benefits for patron subscribers. See you again in another video real soon. Happy recording and mixing. Stay safe, stay happy and healthy. Peace, love, and music.